The 90s were a tough decade for the reputation of heavy metal. Riots were breaking out at concerts, a bomb went off on Daysade's 92 tour, and the West Memphis Three were charged and convicted of murder. But one of the biggest stains on its image came from the Norwegian black metal scene in the early half of the decade. The genre of black metal can be defined by its shrieking vocals, tremolo-picked guitars, and anti-religious themes. But Norwegian black metal is known for its low-fidelity production, larger focus on atmosphere, and controversial ideologies such as Satanism and Nazism.
My name is Varg Vikanes, and I play in burzum. The guy I killed intended to kill me, so I killed him before he managed to kill me. He tried, but he failed, miserably.
One of the most influential and controversial members of this scene was a young man born to the name Christian Vikernes, but during the 90s he changed his name to Varg out of hatred for the religion Christianity. Varg began playing guitar at the age of 14, and at age 17 he briefly joined a death metal band named Dead Funeral, even performing on their EP, Devoured Carcass. But after a year, Varg left to begin his solo project titled Burzum, a one-man music project that would become a staple of Norwegian black metal. The music of Burzum can be described as minimalistic and repetitive, incorporating themes of Norse mythology and inspiration from the writings of J.R.R. Tolkien.
This is what I was occupied with. This is what inspired me.
He even took both the name Burzum and his stage name, Count Grishnak, directly from the Lord of the Rings book series, with the name Burzum, which means darkness, having been inscribed on the One Ring. Burzum's sound is unarguably unique, and the Norwegian black metal scene had a key role in the evolution of the subgenre. But what really drew eyes was not just the music, it was also the many crimes connected to that scene. In just half a decade, more than 50 churches were burned in Norway, with over 20 linked in some way to the country's black metal scene. In 1993, one of Norway's biggest newspapers published an interview with Varg, attempting to remain anonymous under his stage name, Count Grishnak, on their front page. In the interview, Varg claimed that he had burned the churches and revealed information about the fires that had not been made public by the police yet. He was soon arrested, even before the interview had been published.
Det var tydeligvis klart å få den PR her.
Det var kun PR for plata det her?
Ja, selvfølgelig. Det har jo klart ganske bra også.
But released due to lack of evidence.
The whole case just crumbled. Bam! There was no evidence. It was just bullshit. Of course, the guys in the scene who had burned churches, they were really scared. But of course, for no reason. Why would they be scared? If you burn a church, how are they going to prove it?
In August of the same year, Varg had murdered fellow Norwegian black metal musician Euronymous of the band Mayhem, for whom Varg had previously played bass guitar. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to 21 years in prison, the maximum sentence. It was during this time in prison that Varg finished the record he was working on before his arrest. 3 years after his sentence, Varg released the album Philosophem, arguably the pinnacle of his success as a musician. This album combined his staple low-fidelity black metal sound with long ambient tracks made during a short period of his incarceration where he was allowed a keyboard. From then on, he would release a few other ambient albums until his release from prison, but none as popular as that final collection of songs documenting his artistry before and during his many years in prison. In the history of heavy metal, Varg and his project Burzum left a controversial legacy for the Norwegian black metal scene. His story is possibly the darkest in the entirety of the metal genre, but whether it be his actions that influence black metal, or if black metal influenced his actions, is entirely up to your interpretation.